Alright, looks like we're going to get our second game underway now. Alright, this map, much like the last map, has a big shared base section. This time you share your mains instead of your expansions. There are two central expansions you can take out which have destructible rocks, which are always interesting to fight over. Someone will always get kicked out of the group and go and expand elsewhere, so going to be interesting to see who gets the short straw there and has to go and expand somewhere else. But it's a pretty good map for 3v3s, I guess. I do like having that combined main base just so that you can't get cheesed and have 3 cheeses against your one player, and it's, you know, annoying. And it looks like LemonADE is just struggling to load a little bit here. Computer just needs to wind up a little bit or something, I'm not sure. There we go, he started loading now. Maybe. Well, we're waiting to see if LemonADE's starting to load or not. Yes. Wow, I hope he doesn't lag in game. At least it's one of those old school computers that once you get it going it'll manage fine. Everything's turned on to the lowest settings and whatnot. And there we go, now everyone else can finish loading. Hopefully LemonADE will join us shortly. There we go, that's a lot quicker than the first half was. Go! Alright, so the teams, by the way, are Protoss and 2 Zerg versus 2 Protoss and 1 Terran. I'm really not too sure of the dynamics of 3 vs 3, to be perfectly honest with you, so I'm not sure what exactly favours what in 3v3s, but all I know is Zerg's annoying in general, so I'm going to give the favour to the South team. But up here we have the green Protoss for Team Mosaic. It is Mosaic himself. Up in the middle, up the top here, we have the yellow Terran Jason, and the top of the top is the purple Protoss Wringyyy. Okay, now down in the bottom we have up at the top end of them the blue Zerg Ghost, the teal Protoss LemonADE, and the pink Zerg SilverBullet for Team LemonADE. Alright, so going to be an interesting game here. See what happens. We do see Mosaic and Wringyyy both dropping their piles on this side, so obviously going to try and wall, I would suggest. If you get a gateway here and a gateway here, I believe you can block the remainder with a Zealot. So that should be able to be a tight wall there. Meanwhile, Jason is Terrence, who's going to just wall himself with a depot, a barracks, a depot, and you may need a second barracks. I'm not entirely sure on this map. And we actually see very, very fast scouts as well, which is pretty common in team games. You want to get out there and see if there's going to be some sort of like 666 pool or something ridiculous coming your way, which there isn't, by the way. We see no sort of cheese in production. We do see a fast gateway for LemonADE though, on about 13. That's actually pretty standard. Sorry. So nothing cheesy coming out of these players, it would seem. LemonADE going to stop and just harass Jason a little bit. And then run away as soon as his shields run out, which is so annoying. That's why Protoss are broken. And we just see that barracks going down at the front. Here goes another barracks to finish that wall. But he's going to come up and actually harass these SCVs now that there's nothing to defend them. He's going to wait for this SCV to bounce out and should come up and hit that one instead now. Go, hit it. Because of course if you kill the building SCV, then it delays the whole building, delays the entire tech and timing of the Terran. So always a good idea for the opposition to do that. We do see these 2 gateways here. Actually, he may need to drop his core here as well to finish that wall, just by the looks of it. And Ghost, by the way, getting his scout up into this destructible rock area. A good place to hide it is this watchtower. For some reason, no one seems to get their defensive watchtowers. So, yeah. And we actually see here that SCV that was building this barracks did get killed. This SCV can come across and finish building it, but he's going to wait for the Marine to pop out first to scare away the probe, and now get onto building that barracks. So it did slightly delay that, took out a worker pretty comfortably, so good work by LemonADE there with the harassment. And we just see the overlords as well, just floating over. Going to be able to see exactly what's going on. I don't want to float too close when there's a Terran around. Of course the Marines just come across and kill your overlords, which is pretty bad early in the game. You want to keep your overlords alive as long as you can. Core coming down for Wringyyy as well here. So pretty standard play by the north side thus far. Down south we do have the pull up for SilverBullet as well as the gas. Excuse me, and the same for Ghost, but no expansion up just yet. Some Lings working out these destructive rocks, but they're not going to take them down anytime quickly. Of course, only doing 2 damage per hit, so yeah, not exactly a quick process killing these destructive rocks as a Zerg. And it also looks like the scout for Wringyyy is going to get taken out now by LemonADE. Stalker just finishing it off pretty comfortably. We do see a second gateway coming down as well, and Warpgate getting chrono boosted out, so I believe that's a fairly standard sort of play. But Wringyyy here he's actually dropped 3 more gateways, so going to go for a lot of early pressure with a typical 4-gate build. Warpgate coming out, probably going to try and chrono boost that, I would imagine. Maybe not. Just going to chrono boost out the Stalker instead to deny any sort of scouting, I guess. Any sort of early pressure. And Jason here actually dropping his command center before the destructive rocks have even started being worked on, so definitely shotgunning one of those top expansions. And what you'll probably find out here is both Zergs will take these expansions. And of course Protoss can't expand onto creep, so looks like LemonADE is going to get the short end of the straw there, and going to have to expand out here somewhere, which is a lot less safe, a lot more vulnerable. And there we go, this SilverBullet expansion is going down. Jason's expansion almost half complete, but those rocks haven't even been started on. We just see a couple of Marines here, 3rd barracks coming up as well, so clearly going to go for some sort of heavy bio play. 4th barracks as well, you can see there the green outline is about to get dropped down, there it goes. And Wringyyy with his warp gates, looks like we could be seeing some early pressure from the north team. We do have those destructive rocks down now for the south, and we should see Ghost expanding here in just a second, I would imagine. He probably just needs SilverBullet to move his Lings out of the way so we can drop the hatchery, and so we're yelling at him across vent or something, abusing him profusely. There we go, the hatchery does go down. Scouting probe out here for Mosaic, just checking for any sort of hidden expos by the looks of it, just running around the map, and now hiding in the bush, just waiting for his time to pounce. But LemonADE's observer is going to fly right over the top of the probe, so he will know it's there. Question of whether or not he's actually going to try and kill it. It does look like he right-clicked on that, by the way, so the Stalker's coming out to deal with that. And the army's meeting up here for the north team. Wringyyy, Mosaic, and Jason it is, all meeting up for this push. Pretty strong push by the looks of it. No forward pylons though, and actually all the probes go down, so no chance of actually dropping a forward pylon anytime soon, which is not what you want. And we do see, by the way, the south side does see this SilverBullet holding both these watchtowers. Sees the army walking straight down, but are they going to be able to hold it? Here it comes, walking into the main of Ghost as Larry's coming up. Tries to drop some spine crawlers, but they may not even complete in time. Walking around now, going to take this spine crawler out before it even gets close to completing. Lings and Queen engage. Here come the rest of his allies' armies. More Lings. That spine crawler does go up and add some nice DPS there, but out of range of the Stalkers, which are the units that really want to be attacking here. LemonADE Stalker's just not enough by the looks of it. First Colossus is out, but no thermal lance upgrade completed yet. Obviously it's too early, and with no ground support, Colossus is actually very weak. It needs some ground units to support it here. Coming closer, coming in range of the spine crawler almost, and it looks like they are just going to hold. That Colossus of course did some sick DPS to those Marines. That is what it will just melt there. And it did actually end up picking up 6 kills, so not too bad for the team down the south. And if we look at the supplies now, Team Mosaic up the top here is on, everyone's on about 45, with the exception of Mosaic, who's on about 50 supply. Whereas down south we have about 60 supply for LemonADE, 50 for SilverBullet, and only 36 for Ghost. So Ghost definitely the lowest of those supplies, but he did lose his whole army in that defense and his Queen. But he does have this expansion up and going, so not too dire just yet. Pretty even, really, in terms of supply for the whole teams. And we see now, by the way, the destructive rock's only just going down. So he's going to want to lift that command center and drop it in the correct position, but Mosaic's going to have to move his zealots for that to happen. And by the way, he was just long distance mining in the meantime, which is perfectly fine, I guess. He's been doing that for a little while by the looks of it. But yeah, obviously less than ideal, but whatever, sometimes you have to do it. We do see 5 barracks up for Jason, by the way, 2 tech labs, so he's getting some marauders, but no reactors, even though he's pumping Marines, which is a bit odd. I do like reactors, I'm a pretty big fan of them, so I'd like to see some of those come down. Mosaic, by the way, finally dropping his expansion outside the base over here. No expansion for LemonADE yet, of course, who was the one who was forced to expand outside the main, so going to be interesting to see exactly what he plans on doing in terms of the long term of this game. Really good creep spread, by the way, by SilverBullet, getting a nice expansive creep tumors just moving out across the whole map, which is exactly what you want to do, especially when you've got a Zerg partner as well in Ghost. Of course, the more creep on the map, the more vision and the more fast your units move. So definitely a good idea, especially when you're getting Hydras, which it does look like SilverBullet is doing. There is the Hydra gen, getting that Hydra range. So yeah, this is definitely what he wants to be doing if he's going for the Hydras. And we do actually see the 1-1 upgrades for the range as well, so going to commit pretty hard to this, probably Hydra Roach composition. Mosaic, by the way, dropped a forward pylon over here. It is going to get taken out, but there's another one up here, and basically just a trail of pylons towards the main. Mosaic coming down here, went to drop a forward pylon, I believe. No, mana blocked our LemonADEs, but did see that expansion for LemonADE most importantly. So they've actually expanded right opposite each other, very close, and a bunch of Zealots for LemonADE coming in, just beating on the Nexus, not killing probes, which they should be doing. There we go. Now they've changed their targets to the probes. There is one Zealot for Mosaic, but he's stuck behind all these probes. He's losing so many probes because he's not microing properly. He should have pulled them back and let the Zealot get to the front. A ton more units warping in for LemonADE off that back pylon, and he should be able to deny that expansion if he chooses, but he's pulling back instead. It looks like you're seeing this big push coming down because they still have those watchtowers. So here comes that push into the main of Ghost again. He does have a lair here, so really doesn't want to be losing that. A couple of Mutilas popping out, but they're very weak in small numbers. He's definitely going to want his allies to come across and help out. The Colossus for LemonADE sitting on the cliff here, needs to walk back. Don't want to give his allies, his opposition, vision of that. And in a big ball like that, the Colossus is going to do so much damage. He's going to melt all these units. He just needs to be really careful with the control on it. And here comes the rest of the army walking around now. It looks like this south side should hold it pretty easily, but the lair is going to go down by the looks of it. Jason is focus firing that lair with those Marauders who do sick damage to buildings, and it does go down. But in the meantime, we are going to clean up pretty comfortably, largely thanks to these just Colossus sitting on the cliffs doing a ton of damage. LemonADE definitely came back and saved the day there a bit. Not losing any tech structures, luckily for Ghost. We do see the Spire up at his expansion, so nothing too bad happened. I mean, he did lose that lair, which is frustrating. He has to rebuild that. And he probably should build that at the expansion, by the way. It's actually a bit safer than your main in this situation. But either way, he should re-put that hatchery there and possibly even expand again after doing so. We do see SilverBullet has dropped an expansion over here by that Zelnaga watchtower. Probably transferring drones there in just a second, but hasn't done so quite yet. And LemonADE as well has his expansion up and going down here. You did see that probe transfer on its way at the moment. Ghost, by the way, trying to do some harassment with the Mutilas, but not really getting too far. A bunch of Marines on the cliff did force a stim out of them, and some Stalkers coming out as well. So yeah, not actually able to do too much damage there. But he does take out a couple of probes that are just chilling up here, sitting on the watchtowers. So not a complete failure either. Force the units back too. Now we do see, by the way, LemonADE pushing in here with SilverBullet's Hydras. Excuse me, he's hitting the front now of the Terran. Terran doesn't have his wall up, so he's able to just walk in and just massacre this bio army. We just see now, it doesn't matter anyway, the wall is melting, suiciding medevacs, and it looks like LemonADE's going to do some crazy damage here. There's sort of like a tunnel he's forced to follow, but that won't really bother him. Funneling units against the Colossus is good, so he's more than happy to fight here. And you see just melting that mineral line with the Colossus lasers. Really good play here, and it looks like that is going to be GG. There we go, Mosaic GGing out. We should see his allies joining him in just a second. There goes Wringyyy and Jason as well, also bowing out. So a win there to Team LemonADE. Very strong play. Did well defending each other and then pushing as a team as well.